When it comes to finding a remote job, many people are concerned about being scammed. And for good reason. Scammers are getting craftier. Listings can be rife with scams, and savvy scammers impersonate recruiters, potential bosses, and hiring managers in order to scam job seekers out of personal financial information. And in the worst case scenario, their life savings. I'm Deandra Goodman with FlexJobs, the #1 job site to find remote, work from home, and flexible job opportunities since 2007. Our recent annual survey found that more than 80% of job seekers report being on guard or very concerned about scams on other job boards. One of the reasons FlexJobs was created was to provide a safe, trusted way for people to find legitimate remote and flexible jobs without having to worry about all the junk and scams found on other sites. If you're not using FlexJobs for your job search, use the tips we're highlighting in this video to avoid remote job scams and keep yourself safe on other job boards. Know the signs of an online job scam. While job scammers have adapted their tactics over time, there are still some hard and fast warnings that a job is a scam. Here are some basic signs of a work-from-home job scam. Number 1, you're asked for personal financial information, such as your social security number, your bank account, your home address and phone number, your date of birth, etc., early on in the job interview process. The job pays a lot of money for little work. After all, if it sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. The company boasts several rags to riches stories that showcase high-flying lifestyles. The job posting mentions quick money, drastic income changes overnight, etc. The job posting has glaring grammatical or spelling errors. The contact email address is personal. For example, johnsmith3843@gmail.com, or one that mimics a real company's email address, johnsmith@dellcomputer.com. The job requires several upfront expenses from candidates. Compensation is based on how many people you recruit. A recruiter offers you the job immediately without verifying your work experience or doesn't ask for references. Trust your gut if a job feels scammy. As with most situations in life, one of the single best ways to avoid a job scam is to listen to your instincts. That can be hard if you've been out of work for a while and a plum position seems to fall smack dab into your lap. But think about the job and how you are approached in an objective light. If something just feels off or you feel uncomfortable for any reason, for example, the job recruiter is pushy or demanding, or you don't have a clear understanding of the job responsibilities, don't think twice about walking away from it. More than likely, your instincts are right. And remember, there are plenty of real online jobs out there to choose from. This won't be your one and only opportunity to work remotely, so don't feel intimidated or pressured into doing something that you don't feel comfortable with. Consider the keywords in the job post. In general, be careful of certain keywords in posts. The following options and variations: free work from home jobs, quick money, unlimited earning potential, multi-level marketing, envelope stuffing, investment opportunities and seminars, part-time jobs with full-time pay. Research the companies. Let's say a recruiter contacts you and wants you to apply for a job. They say that based on your skills and work experience, you'd be perfect for an open position. That doesn't mean the job is legitimate, or the recruiter is who they claim to be. You should always do your due diligence on both the recruiter and the job. Conduct research to see if you can find out any info on the recruiter or hiring manager to determine if they are indeed a real person. Connect with the company directly. A hiring manager might reach out to you with a potential job. They might offer all the details about the job, but not the biggest one of all: the company hiring for the job. Although they might say they can't disclose the company or they'll lose the potential commission associated with placing you in the position, you should know for certain the name of the company you're interviewing with. If the hiring manager won't tell you, it could be a sign that you're in the middle of a scam. So contact the company that you might be working for to verify that A, the job recruiter is working for them, and B, the job you're applying for exists. Question the communication. Any hiring manager or boss worth their salt is not going to conduct a job interview via instant message or email. Most often, you might be initially contacted by email, But after that, you should still have a phone or video interview, or both. If you enjoyed learning how to avoid job scams, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep up with more job search advice. At FlexJobs, our trained research team weeds out both the obvious scams and the more sophisticated ones, along with commission-only jobs, low-quality positions, business opportunities, and other junk, so our members are guaranteed a quality job search experience. FlexJobs, find a better way to work.